Hello, my name is Katie McCauley, and I'm going to talk to you about the global field study that I accomplished over spring break in March of 2019 at the University of Baltimore. Okay, before I decided to go on this trip, I definitely wanted to research the culture and see what the similarities and differences were between the UK and the US. I will have to say that no amount of research could have really prepared me as much as going there and experiencing the culture firsthand. I feel like if I were to ever have a business and have it go from the US to the UK, I would definitely want to do more research, or for any country for that matter. I don't think relying on the internet will really give you a full effect of how the culture is over there. So for our first organization that we went to the Mini Cooper plant in Oxford. We took about an hour drive to Oxford, and along the way I saw that there was hardly any trash on the road. Something that in the US is definitely not the case. I see trash all the time. Definitely made me realize that the people in the UK and the culture are very environmental with sustainability. They really believe in that. So I know coming from the US, that is somewhat important, and it's definitely growing, but after experiencing the week in London, we're not there yet. That is something that you'd have to think about if you're going from a US to a UK to do business. You'd have to change that part of your company. So we get to Mini plant and we put on our vest and we went into the first part, which is the machines that make the base of the car. They use a just-in-time inventory, so as things are made, they're being put together. There's no shelves to shelf anything. This definitely showed us how fast this can happen and how much money they saved, that they didn't have to build extra storage for all this. And we also learned about quality control, how there's people at each station monitoring the machines to make sure that they are fully functioning. And so that was pretty cool as well. From there, we were not allowed to go into the paint department because we would have to get into different gear, and the paint is so delicate they just can't let tourists into there. So from there, we went into the assembly line where people were working on all the cars. This was very eye-opening because in the UK, they have so many people that speak different languages and that kind of thing, because they're so close to different countries, that they use symbols instead of language to monitor the assembly line, which I thought was very interesting. That definitely brought my eyes at how much their business, how little things like that affect their business. We also learned how they are very interested in their human capital. They tilt the cars up, that way people don't have to be raising their arms high up to be working on the cars, and that is something that I thought was very cool. So that was our trip to the Mini plant, and definitely was one of those things that very eye-opening, and I loved it. This is my class at the Deloitte accounting firm. Another organization that we visited was Deloitte. For those of you who don't know, Deloitte is one of the big 4 accounting firms. I am not an accounting major, I'm a general business major, but I still got so much out of this experience. We were met with 4 Americans, actually, that are currently working in the London offices. We were able to talk to them about not only accounting things, but different cultural differences that they see since they moved over to London. One being the health management system that is over in London, which is a universal health system. He was able to tell us the positive and negatives. This is definitely eye-opening for me because I was able to hear it from someone who's experienced both America's healthcare system as well as London's healthcare system. Another thing that they were able so graciously to share with us was their advice for resumes. A little thing as, setting a strong objective on your resume will definitely catch the eye of people looking over your resumes, and even just making your resume a PDF will make it much easier for any company to look at your resume. So that was a great thing as well. Deloitte was definitely one of my favorites as well, as going to Deloitte definitely gave me the opportunity to hear from Americans that may be that were in the same boat as I would be if I wanted to work overseas. A cultural visit that I went was on our free day, which was the Tower of London. It was just down the street from our hotel, so I decided to go early in the morning with some classmates. The Tower of London really made me realize how much history is in England, whereas in comparison, the US is still pretty new. They had a lot of facts posted about medieval times and even interactive games to put into perspective what it was like at that time. Right here you'll see the guards posted outside of the crown jewels. That is very important to the English people. The jewels were amazing. They were beautiful. It was really cool to see monarchy, especially because the US has never had one of those. This was the Queen's Church in the Tower of London. It was open to all visitors and had crazy caskets and crazy murals like you see right here. We also went to a play courtesy of the University of Baltimore with A Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. It was a great play that incorporated a lot of London culture, so it was great to see this play. And this is in Soho, where Soho is a lot of nightlife in London, so that was also really great to see. I would have to say that my global field study trip to London was transformational for me. Before this trip, I never thought about going into accounting, but I am looking into getting my CPA once I graduate. I also was pushed out of my comfort zone as I didn't know anybody before this trip, and that is something that I need to work on. All in all, this trip was great, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.